All right, today back again, back again. What we want to talk about today: who is the best leader in anime? Now we all know there. I think we did a topic before who had some of the greatest speeches, and a lot of times, speeches come from people who can really galvanize the troops, but sometimes actions speak louder than words. So today we want to talk about who is the best leader. So I want to hear what's your groups, who led that group, and why that's the best leader. Let me know if anybody want to start.
Yeah, I just want to start. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie.
please go.
Like
Go for it.
I feel like I have the best answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh-huh.
Lelouch, Britannia. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this is kind of self-explanatory, but Lelouch has to be the greatest leader. Like even through like his intelligence, the way he used his Gias to kind of um get out of situations that were kind of impossible situations, and it was it was really political, and the fact that he gave his life up at the end to accomplish
Mm.
his goal, that's kind of the he kind of made the ultimate sacrifice as a leader for the greater good, because you saw how society and his country were just shit as like discriminatory, and he created a group. He manipulated who he needed to manipulate it. No hard feelings, and at the end, he literally sacrificed himself for his group and for the country. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, that's the best answer. Y'all will not come up with anybody better.
Never in my life, bro. Never, never, never in my life could I have foreseen me agreeing with Quan.
Oh man.
Bro.
So
Bro,
I guess since you agree, Rue, I guess you can go up, right? Like follow up. Anything you want to add to that?
I agree what he said, and just to put it in more context, you know what I'm saying? Like the Black Knight as a group, like he just took them to the next level, and you're opposing this dominating force who's just been in control for so long, and that you put their back against the ropes, and every time they think they have something, you're just one or two chess moves ahead of them. So just like I said, just his leadership in the sense of always being ahead. Granted he had a great hack, right? But just his ability to play chess when most other people are playing checkers, I think is what separates him as a leader.
Okay. I'll go next, right? Because I feel like Lelouch is a great pick. However, I feel like I got a character that surpasses Lelouch, right? This character not only did what Lelouch did, maybe in a different way, but he did it with less, right? He is essentially the LeBron of, anime characters when we're talking about leaders. And I'm going to go with Erwin Smith, right? Because Erwin Smith, with the Survey Corps, they were losing countless battles, right? They were losing people. They were on the brink of extermination at a point in time, right? And he was a character that was like perfectly like cold logic, using cold logic, perfectly calculated, but he had something about him that he can kind of rally his troops. And ultimately he sacrificed himself as well, even though he deeply wanted to find out the truth behind the Titans, the truth, what was in the basement, the thing that drove him, right? He lost his pops due to it, right? But he kind of rose up the ranks, and he's the one that was able to kind of take on a leadership role where people believed in him, the likes of Levi. When Levi we seen the backstory with Levi. Levi was down in the slums going crazy, and he was able to keep Levi on the leash. Not anyone could do that. You know what I mean? So I feel like he was very strategic, right? Next level tactician, being able to kind of really surmise that Reiner and Berthold were Titans, right? Created a plan to essentially stop them, right? And he kind of knew that from the get-go. When Annie infiltrated, he already knew. Remember that moment where he goes behind, Aaron's shoulder and says, who is the enemy? Because he already knew that someone had infiltrated the Survey Corps, but he just didn't know why or who specifically they are, right? And he was selfless to the core. I think he was more selfless than Lelouch at a particular point in time. And then we got to talk about the results, right? If it wasn't for Erwin, I don't think the story pans out how it pans out. Now, you can argue, Aaron was in control at this particular point in time, right? But at the end of the day, the decisions Erwin made was outside of the scope of what Eren could have controlled, right? Yeah, Eren was in control of certain key moments regarding Titans, but we're talking about Survey Corps and members. Erwin was in full control of that, right? Especially when you talk about the Beast Titan, it was Erwin's plan to kind of get that established. It wasn't Eren, right? So I feel like, unlike Lelouch, he didn't have a Gias to control people and use that as a way to kind of bypass. Because I ain't gonna lie, I feel like Lelouch that carried Lelouch, right? Erwin, it was just straight brains and amongst chaos. So that's my reason as to why I feel like Erwin Smith is by far the best leader in all the anime.
Yeah. I mean, I would give you. See, I really like Erwin a lot. I like Erwin a lot. I feel like I just didn't see. I feel like with Lelouch had more feats than Erwin. Like Erwin had amazing feats. I think I just didn't see enough to put him over Lelouch. Granted,
Lelouch is a main character, so I get that.
Yeah. So. And granted, Lelouch he had the gas, but it was the way he used it. So it's like, granted, you can, like, we've seen multiple examples in anime of you can have a power, but it's your application use of the power.
And I feel you, but like it's like, bro, like
like if Erwin had a Gigas, it'd be like, okay, bro.
Yeah, even Erwin, like he didn't, like people would think about that last speech he gave to the soldiers, but people forget that moment where they had to go and retrieve Eren. He sacrificed his whole arm. He didn't care about dying, right? Yeah. Like that was a huge moment to rally his troops to get like, come on, like this guy was selfless to the core, had charisma. I think he just had everything, and he was flawed, but he was real. Like it was like really real. Like what type of leader he would be was so realistic. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's. But I ain't gonna lie. Like Lelouch is still a good choice. I ain't gonna lie.
Erwin Smith is a good one. I would say the nod I would give Lelouch is neither of them were like everything we said, right? Like they're both intelligent, they're both always steps ahead, they had great planning, but what I would give them is like when they're actually in the field and they got to get their hands dirty. I'm not saying one is necessarily better than the other, but I'm saying one's impact probably, like in terms of actually doing the dirty work, the fighting, Lelouch's impact probably meant a little bit more because his best fighter isn't the tank powerhouse that the Survey Corps best fighter is, right? Like, for example, if you were to remove Cullen, who, in my opinion, I think is the best combatant on the Black Knights, would you guys agree?
Yeah.
And then I think if you remove Levi, right, I think the Black Knights would have more success. Like, I think both of them probably fall shorter than where they ended up, but I think the Black Knights would have more success than the Survey Corps if you took away their best powerhouse combatant.
Like their best chess piece. Like if we playing chess and both queens was removed from the board, I think.
Well, this is both of their queens, right? So let's say both their queens are removed. I think the Black Knights still have more success than the Survey Corps.
I definitely agree.
Nah, I don't agree with that, right? Because the only reason why I say that is because even prior to him not necessarily like getting Levi to the Survey Corps, he was still winning a lot of missions even prior to Levi. Levi obviously like accelerated the growth, right? But even prior to him getting Levi, there was already kind of amidst growing the Survey Corps, right? Like, yeah, he was losing battles, but he was making progress. And he strategically, he knew he couldn't get Levi, but he seen potential in Levi and was able to, like, you know what, set up a plan to even allow Levi to join his corps regardless. And even still, if Levi didn't join, I truly believe the story may not have panned out the way it did, but I think that he would have still found some level of success, right? Because I feel like this is the thing, the difference between the two. I feel like Erwin Smith, the threat he had to deal with was significantly bigger than what Lelouch had to deal with. And I think that's why I feel like it is a difference there. If you're totaling the scales, like, bro, Erwin had he had a lot more to deal with, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like with less, I feel like that also has to be taken into consideration. But I do get it though. Like Lelouch just had in real time, I feel like Lelouch is faster on his feet. I would say that, and he's the better combatant. You know what I mean?
And then my only rebuttal, it's not even a real rebuttal. My only gripe is that in AOT, like, we've seen that Eren was kind of making decisions. Like,
that's what I mentioned.
So it's like
Yeah.
Aaron's intervention is like, okay, how far was he gonna let Erwin really go? Like if he really wanted to, he could have stopped Erwin whenever he felt like it. And
Not really. Not necessarily.
in like a sense, he could have like in his from the way Attack on Titan is written, it makes it seem like Aaron could have manipulated kind of what he wanted to get the result he wanted if Erwin was kind of a detriment to his overall goal.
So Aaron could have controlled events related to Titans specifically, right? Like, because Erwin was not necessarily a Titan, what happens amongst human beings, he couldn't necessarily control. But in terms of the smiling Titan eating his mom, he influenced that, right? In terms of his father, right, taking on the Founder's Titan ability, he influenced that. So it's not like Aaron was a god. I mean, Aaron was a god. He just was able to tout the scales in particularly significant moments. So that's why I said, like, even though Aaron was controlling certain events, it's not like he was controlling all events happening.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So that's the only reason as to why. And even then with all Titans, Aaron couldn't really control all Titans, really, realistically, right? Like, he could only control, like, really those with the founding Titan ability, right? So I think there was a limitation there too. But I get your point. I know we kind of like, I don't want to kind of go over and over, but
yeah. I want Smoke to get a chance. I want Smoke to get a chance.
Go ahead, Smoke.
Man, I don't even know at this point. Y'all both got Lelouch.
Yeah.
Rue, you got Lelouch too?
Yeah, I got Lelouch, yeah.
Because I've been over here sitting, plotting hard. Like, I'm like, damn, do I go with King Bradley? Because, like, he had one of the craziest feats of, like, I'm not going through the back door. What you think I'm going through the back door of my building? I'm walking straight through the front door and on business at the end. But it's like, do I want to do that? No. Do I want to take the crazy hot take right now and go with Gaara when he led the Allied Shinobi Force and Naruto kind of came and saved the day and wasn't really like the leader of the group and they named Gaara, but like they ended up getting the W at the end of the day. So it's like
does he get credit for that? I mean,
right,
probably.
It's a cheesy, corny take, but like I kind of want to go with it because that's who they named to be the leader of the Shinobi Force, and just because Naruto was the one to come and save the day doesn't mean that he was now said leader of the force. You know, it was like it's still, the title is still on Gaara's shoulders at the end of the day. So like like they don't defeat Madara or Fate when it turns into Kaguya, like that still falls on Gaara, I think, at the end of the day, not who was fighting the battle.
Yeah,
he contributed a lot during the war too.
So is Gaara your choice?
Yep. Yes, Gaara is his final answer.
All right.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I can't let you do that, Smoke. You gotta pick somebody else.
Just because
he got appointed to that though.
Just because we have to take everything into consideration, bro. Like, so everything they've been doing, I'm gonna say, bro, Gaara got packed up by Datara, bro.
But that wasn't during the war arc though. Gaara has,
but I'm saying it would taking the totality of them in. He was still at that point. He was still at least the leader of his nation, no?
But why did he lose to Gaara? Because of his nation, a brilliant leader.
Yeah, he did sacrifice himself.
So that still adds on to why he's a good leader. He sacrificed himself.
Yeah,
just like Lelouch did, just like Erwin did. Gaara sacrificed himself for his village.
But that does not make him a brilliant leader, because here's what he was lucky that they only wanted him, because if I'm coming in and I'm on Smoke, and then let's say you're the biggest opposition Mo and I defeat you, now everybody else is at my base, whatever I want to do. Luckily, I only wanted to take you, but
he knew that though.
He assumed that.
No, he knew that.
But it's like even if you know that, he couldn't stop it. Like he couldn't.
Now he could have.
And I smoke everybody. It's like, bro,
you're not gonna sit here and act like Deirdre was gonna beat Gaara if Gaara didn't sacrifice himself.
I don't think he knew that. I just think the show wasn't that dark for them to go that route.
But it was like, I don't even want to do it.
Gaara, Deirdre knew he couldn't beat Gar, but he knew he played on, all right, you know what? Gar cares more about the village. So it's either you sacrifice yourself. It's kind of like Black Clover.
Yeah, but he
right?
had a partner that didn't do anything. His partner just sat back and let him kind of get the one on. His partner could have jumped in. His partner could have jumped in the clip. Like,
I mean, yeah, it's arguable if they both would have jumped him, how he would. But I feel like Gara's ability is suited for more than just a one-on-one. You get what I mean?
But his partner was, you know,
true.
Like,
true.
So what did Gara do to help get the final W? You said he was appointed by the people, but like, what was the contribution that he made to get the final W? Because he was way out of his league there, bro.
Yeah, he was.
But
he's the youngest Hokage. Is he one of the youngest?
Yeah,
Hokage?
he was the youngest Hokage, or the youngest Kage at the time.
Youngest
Kage.
Like they just picking random people, or is it just like no merit? Like I feel like it has to be some level of merit there. Potential. If we talk about potential, Gara's up there.
It was between Gara,
I'm talking about who
the
executed
Raikage, Tsunade, Inoki, and Mei.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't gotta argue. In terms of end results, yeah, I do feel like Gara didn't really like.
Gara's crazy, bro.
Bro, that's why I told him, like, yo,
give me another one, bro.
Oh man, because who do I pick? No, I'll take somebody.
If you want to keep Gara, but I'm telling you, the people in the comments are gonna light you up, Smoke.
No, that's fine because they're gonna light me up for this one regardless too. Because I'm gonna take your boy Pain.
Nah, Pain wasn't a good leader though.
What you mean? Yes, he was. He got the job done.
Nah.
His job was collect the tail beast and feed him to the ghetto statue. That was his job, and he got that job.
You know who you could have said? You could have said like a one.
But like you said, there's no beast.
But still, it could be endless. Like if you picking Pain, like is Pain your final answer, or is it like you?
No, but like I'm saying though, like who do I take? Like there's good answers out there. Like I could take Ichibe, right? Or I could take Baja.
Edward Newgate.
It's like I could have took Aizen.
I don't think Edward's a good.
You don't think Whitebeard's a good pick?
Whitebeard.
I'm not well versed in One Piece.
Pain is kind of tough. Pain is kind of tough just because he was getting manipulated all along. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what makes it a little difficult.
Like he still got his job done at the end of the day as the leader of that.
Not really. He didn't get
job done.
He didn't get Naruto. He didn't get the QB, the Nine Tails.
Yeah,
he fell there.
Griffith.
And he undid everything he did.
True.
Technically, so he went against the organization he was leading. I would say that's a bad leader to me, but a good human being.
Yeah.
So
he went rogue.
I ain't gonna lie, like he went rogue. He went.
And I love Pain.
Like Sung Jinwoo, but like, what is he really a leader of? The S rank hunters of Korea.
Sung Jinwoo, yeah. I mean,
it's like his guilding established yet.
I mean, true. I mean, Sung Jinwoo could probably be a good leader, but the problem is he's so solo. I mean, no pun intended.
Right. No,
right?
I'm just
a lot of the time.
And plus, we don't. Unless you've read, you don't know that the guild is established yet. Like they mentioned.
Yeah. If you read, then if you're talking about his own guild and what he does, and then his impact around amidst the people around him, then yeah, I ain't gonna lie, he saves lives.
As a monarch and stuff like this. Like it's tough to counter yours.
The world. I ain't gonna lie. That's definitely a good choice. I ain't gonna lie. Sung Jinwoo is a good one.
Like sit there and take Goku, leader of the Z Fighters, or something. You know, it's like
Goku is definitely not a good leader.
The Grand Priest, the leader of the Angels.
Probably better if using Piccolo, bro.
Like, I start taking?
But I get what Smoke is saying. A lot of the anime characters, they're not good leaders inherently.
Yeah.
Nah,
just because they're a leader of a group, don't make them good leaders.
I'm not gonna lie, you got a nigga like Sinbad from
all right.
Do I take Kaneki for when he took over the Ogiri? Like,
bro, wait. How far along are you in Tokyo Ghoul?
Season 2, episode 7. And I don't understand how you said that season 1 is more fire than this season, because they've been turning up every episode.
Bro, you're watching it or you're reading it?
Yeah, no, I'm watching it.
Bro, you're tripping, bro.
Wait, season two is Ree or is season 2 with the white hair? I always
Season
forget.
2 is white hair.
Season 2 is with
But
the
but
white.
bro,
Oh no,
just,
season 2 is
no, no, you know what? This is too early. Finish it.
Yeah.
Just finish it.
Go ahead.
Just finish it. It's too
Like the
early.
first like 2 episodes were kind of slow, but this shit
Nah,
like
bro. Trust me, bro. I will never lie to you, Smoke. Just finish it, and we'll come back.
I gotta
to this, bro.
rewatch
This
it.
is not
I'll
the
be
time.
blurring it.
okay, because I don't know. White hair him is like on fucking timing right now.
He is, bro. But season 2 made some bad choices. So just finish it.
Yeah,
and
they definitely made some bad choices.
We'll come back to that. You know what I'm saying? The story
Okay.
in itself, I love Tokyo Ghoul, but what season 2 did, and this is taking us way off topic. Season 2, actually watching it, the anime made some bad choices. So
No,
Yeah,
it's just like
watch it
you're like
and-
who do I sit here and take at the end of the day?
I mean, it
It's
might be pending for you, Smoke. You
You
might have
know?
to go back to the drawing board and see.
you
No.
leave it. You know what?
I'll
Everybody
revisit the
give me-
comment section. You feel me?
Everybody, give me an honorable mention, real quick, rapid fire honorable mention, Quan.
For best leader,
Yeah,
Yeah.
honorable mention.
I would go. Damn, best leader. I would go Griffith from Berserk, bro.
Okay, 10 seconds or less. Tell me why.
Bro, he established his band. He manipulated people in order to get his end goal, because his goal wasn't really to befriend anybody. His goal was his goal, and
Your
he
overtime.
manipulated. Yeah, and he manipulated who he needed to manipulate to get to his end goal, and
Yeah.
it panned out the way he wanted to.
Mo, honorable mention, 10 seconds or less.
Let me see honorable mentions. I'll probably say Roy Mustang from Full Metal Alchemist,
10 seconds or less. Tell me why you choose Roy.
because like we know that the system was corrupt off the rip, right? Not only did he get his back in blood, but you could just see, you know, based off of his character and him being a driven leader, his influence, he was able to inspire loyalty out of most of his followers, right? Like, you know, and even amidst some juggernauts in the story, he was able to maneuver tactically and get the job done. So that's why I would say he's probably one of, you know, honorable mention.
Okay. You
Who
gave
you
me a
got?
few smokes, so I'm gonna go mines, and I'm gonna let you close out with your honorable mention. All right. So my honorable mention, I'm gonna go Crollo, and the reason I
Okay.
go Crollo is because he took a band of misfits that had nothing, and he created a successful organization. Right, whether good or bad, they're definitely bad, but a successful organization. And what I appreciate about Crollo's leadership is they can function without him being there to physically lead all the time, right? And this was proven when we see them take out some of the Chimera ants, even without him, right? So even without Crollo there, which is the whole dynamic of the spider, right? Like even without the head, you guys continue. So I think he built that. So I say Crollo.
Okay. All right. What about you?
I'm gonna have to take. You just gave me a great idea, and I'm gonna take fucking Jigen / Ishiki from the Kara in Baruto, because where they're at, even in the time skip, they're still dealing with Code and Damon and Ada. They're still dealing with the Kara right now, and it's kind of sort of like how Rue said, where it's like the spider's head got chopped off before the time skip, and it's still kind of moving, you know, like they're still dealing with Kara members, and there's still Amado out there too at the same time. That's like he's still sus. Like we don't know nothing about folks still.
Yeah.
Like we know a little bit, but we don't know his intentions at all.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Jigen / Ishiki from the Kara.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask for the viewers to help us out here. I'm gonna ask them to jump in the comment section, tell us, do they agree? I think the main argument here was Lelouch versus Erwin Smith, right? That took up a lot of the show. But Smoke, you had a few different mentions in there. Which one of Smoke's mentions do you guys like? Make sure you drop it in the comment section. Make sure you like and subscribe.